Good afternoon. My name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. Welcome back to my podcast. Tonight I will be reading on a killer that captivated the world and took it by storm. This individual has been deemed one of the world's worst serial killers. From multitudes of states to different victims, this individual roamed in silence while having kill kits dug in the earth around the country where he would travel and pick out his victims. Tonight, I'm going to take you into the world where we're hunting the hunter, the story of Israel Keys. He wasn't the serial killer that left clues. He wasn't the type to taunt the press or scribble names for the police to find. Israel Keys was something else entirely. A ghost in plain sight, a meticulous predator. He hunted by choice, by mood, and by random impulse. By the time anyone realized the monster among them, he was already dead. Chapter 1: Roots in the Wilderness. Born January 7, 1978, in Cove, Utah, Israel Keys grew up in isolation, first figuratively and literally. His parents, deeply religious and increasingly distrustful of the government, pulled the family off-grid when he was just 5 years old. Their new home was a remote patch of forest near Colville, Washington, a crude cabin with no running water, no electricity, and no connection to the outside world. His father read scripture, his mother taught from homeschooling books, and quoted Revelations. The Keys family eventually joined a white supremacist church, the Ark. Here, surrounded by extremist ideology, Israel's world view began to form, not in rebellion, but in cold observation. He tortured animals for fun, skinned cats, slit their throats. He slit the throats of deers just to watch them die. And still, he felt nothing. This wasn't an urge born out of chaos. It was control, precision. He would later say that by age 14, he knew he was different. He knew that he could kill. And another thing, he knew that he wanted to, but he stayed silent. Chapter 2: Wearing the Uniform. At 20 years old, Israel Keys joined the U.S. Army. On the outside, he was just another recruit. He served at Fort Hood, Fort Lewis, and was even stationed in Sinai, Egypt. Fellow soldiers remembered him as a quiet, polite, someone who laughed at jokes but rarely told his own. He drank heavily, often alone, and one soldier recalled a strange comment Keys made during a card game. "I'd like to kill him." Everyone laughed. Keys didn't. He was honorably discharged in 2001. By then, he'd mastered the art of blending in, being invisible in uniform. What no one realized was that during this time, Keys was already planning, already fantasizing, already hunting. Chapter 3: Two Lives, One Man. After his discharge, he moved to the Macaw Reservation in Washington and started a construction business. He built homes by day, played with his daughter on weekends, and lived in the background of everyone's lives. In 2007, he moved to Anchorage, Alaska. To neighbors, he was quiet and courteous, a doting father, a man who helped you shovel your driveway in winter and didn't make small talk. But underneath, there was a darkness no one could see. Israel Keys didn't kill in fits of rage. He didn't murder out of lust, jealousy, or revenge. He did it because he liked it, because he wanted it, because no one could stop him. Chapter 4: Kill Kits and Cross-Country Chaos. Keys had a strange strategy unlike anything law enforcement had ever seen. He would fly into a city, rent a car, and drive hundreds of miles to bury a kill kit. A bucket filled with duct tape, rope, guns, ammunition, Drano, and lie. Then he would leave. Sometimes months passed, sometimes years. Eventually, when the mood struck him, he'd return. He'd dig up the kit and kill someone. No pattern, no motive, no connection to the victims, just cold, calculated murder. One of his earliest suspected victims, a woman abducted from Oregon in the late 1990s, her body was never found. He claimed he killed less than a dozen people. The FBI believes it's far more. Chapter 5, The Couriers, A Perfect Storm. June 2011, Essex, Vermont. Bill and Lorraine Courier were home in bed when Keys broke into their house, one he had selected at random months prior. He had buried a kill kit nearby years earlier. He zip-tied them, loaded them into their own car, and drove them to an abandoned farmhouse. There, he separated them, shot Bill, assaulted Lorraine, then strangled her. He disposed of the bodies quietly, efficiently. Police found nothing, no suspects, no leads, not until he confessed over a year later, after he was caught for a crime that began with a coffee stand in Alaska. Chapter 6: The End Begins. Samantha Koenig. February 1st, 2012. Anchorage, Alaska. Samantha Koenig, 18 years old, was working alone at a coffee kiosk when a man approached. Surveillance shows her raising her hands, stepping back, then being led out of frame. Keys forced her into his truck. He sexually assaulted her. He killed her the next day. But it didn't stop there. He posed her body, stitched her eyes open with fishing line, took a ransom photo, holding up a newspaper to make it appear she was still alive, then withdrew $30,000 in ransom money from ATMs across several states. The trail of withdrawals made using Samantha's ATM card is what led to his arrest in Texas over a month later. Chapter 7: Confession and Cold Silence. In custody, Keys started talking, but only on his terms. He admitted to killing Samantha Koenig, told investigators how he froze her body in a shed, told them where to find her remains. He confessed to the Courier murders, even drew maps, and then he hinted at more. He drew 11 skulls in ink and blood on his jail cell walls, each one representing a victim he claimed, but he refused to give names. Some victims were from Washington, New York, Oregon. He claimed he dumped bodies in lakes, forests, under bridges. Some were strangers, others maybe not. He said he'd never tell them everything. He liked the power too much. Chapter 8: Suicide and Legacy of Terror. December 2nd, 2012. Israel Keys was found dead in his jail cell. He had slit his wrist with a razor and used his bedsheets to strangle himself. He left behind an eerie suicide note, cryptic poetry, drawings, and 11 skulls. It wasn't an apology. It wasn't even a confession. It was a taunt. He died with his secrets, and many victims remain unidentified. FBI agents continue to investigate cases that match Key's travel history. They've traced over 35,000 miles of movements across the country. Every flight, every rental car, every kill kit that might still be buried out there. Closing. A killer without a pattern. Most serial killers follow a pattern, a method, a type, a reason. Israel Keys did not. He was a predator of chaos. He killed for thrill, for power, for silence. He didn't want fame. He wanted control. He remains one of the most chilling criminals the FBI has ever profiled. Not because of what we know about him, but because of how much we never will. This has been Hunting the Hunter, the Israel Keys story. If you're someone you know, or someone you know has information about possible victims tied to Israel Keys, please contact the FBI tip line. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware. This is your host, 12 Gauge, from 12 Gauge Investigative. Till next time.